I was still in the hospital when my mother called. Her voice sounded almost cheerful, which felt strange considering I'd been there for 6 days recovering from emergency surgery. "We solved one of your problems," she said. I frowned. "What problem?" "The honeymoon." I thought she'd dialed the wrong number. "What honeymoon?" "Your sister's. She and Ethan were coming up short, so we sold Grandma's engagement ring. It was honestly the best use of your jewelry." For a moment, I forgot how to breathe. "My jewelry? It was just sitting in a safe. Your grandmother would have wanted the family to make memories." That ring had never been just jewelry. My grandmother had worn it for 53 years. When she grew too frail to keep it on, she placed it in my hand. She didn't make a dramatic speech. She simply smiled and said, "Some things are meant to stay with the person who understands their weight." Only our family attorney had been present. I stared at the hospital ceiling while machines hummed beside my bed. "You sold it?" "It already happened," my mother replied. "Don't make this difficult." The call ended before I could answer. I expected anger to consume me. Instead, I felt something quieter. Mere 2 days later, my sister walked into my hospital room carrying flowers that looked more like a prop than a gift. She chatted about beach resorts, sunset dinners, and upgraded hotel rooms. She never apologized. She spoke as if I had donated the money willingly. Then she noticed I was smiling. "Why are you smiling?" she asked. I looked at her for a long second. "Because the ring they sold," I let the sentence hang, "was never legally yours to sell." Her smile faded. "What does that even mean?" "It means Grandma planned further ahead than anyone realized." She laughed nervously. "Mom said everything was divided equally. Mom believed that." I didn't explain further, there wasn't any point. The truth was already moving on its own. A week after I was discharged, our family's estate attorney requested a meeting with everyone. My mother sounded irritated. "This is ridiculous," she muttered before we walked inside. The attorney remained calm. He placed several documents on the table. Before Margaret passed away, he began. She created a separate written transfer regarding her engagement ring. My sister shifted in her chair. He continued. "The ring was gifted directly to your daughter during Margaret's lifetime. It was not part of the estate available for distribution." Silence. My mother blinked. "That can't be right." The attorney slid forward a signed statement, witness records, and photographs taken the afternoon my grandmother handed me the ring. "I was present," he said. "So was my assistant." My sister's face lost its color. "But we already sold it." "I know." The attorney folded his hands. "Unfortunately, selling property that belongs to someone else creates legal obligations." No one raised their voice. No one accused anyone dramatically. The facts spoke for themselves. The jeweler had preserved purchase records, identification, payment receipts, and surveillance footage. Everything was documented. My mother kept repeating the same sentence. "We thought it belonged to the estate." The attorney nodded politely. "Intent may explain the mistake. It doesn't erase responsibility." The honeymoon payment suddenly looked very small compared to what they now owed. Recovering the ring required substantial expense. Additional financial liability followed because of the unauthorized sale. No one celebrated, least of all me. Weeks later, my sister called, for the first time in years. She sounded uncertain instead of confident. "I really thought Mom knew what she was doing." "I know," I answered. "I never wanted this. I believe you." There was a long silence. "I should have asked you first." "Yes." Nothing else needed saying. The money was eventually repaid. The ring was recovered through the jeweler before it disappeared into another collection. When I held it again, it looked exactly as I remembered, small Sybil. Worn smooth by decades of love. It wasn't valuable because of the diamond. It was valuable because my grandmother understood something the rest of the family didn't. Character is revealed most clearly when someone believes no one is watching. While I was lying in a hospital bed, they thought I had no voice. They mistook silence for weakness. But patience has a way of letting the truth arrive on its own schedule. I never needed revenge. I only needed the truth to reach the people whose job it was to protect it. In the end, the ring came back. Some relationships didn't.